to take your store or at-home business and go full throttle online. I've been running my business online for the past 6 years. It's been
I can do this from home. My business has gone through different cycles. I really have to say, believe it or not, in my province here in Alberta, we have an oil and gas industry, and our industry is up and down. So COVID kind of hit this year for us, and I wasn't too nervous because for me, I can't speak for other people, but my business actually increases during a recession. And so today's topic is taking your online store or gym, thanks for joining us, Rod, or even an at-home business and taking it to the online webosphere. So the first thing that I would like to share with each and every one of you is that you really want to first understand what platforms you want to use. I'm seeing a lot of gyms and yoga and dance studios actually doing Zoom, free Zoom opportunities every Friday, and they usually don't go past 20 or 30 minutes. So that's a great way to kind of show up doing an Instagram Live versus actually sitting here like myself and talking about what you do best. I also recommend that you let people know, hi, thanks for joining CLX Content. The topic today is about how to get your at-home business or store online so that more people outside of your Instagram page and the internet can basically find you. So I was telling Rob on the line here that I'm seeing a lot of yoga companies and gyms. Hey, thanks for joining, Dylan. They're taking their businesses online. As you know, COVID is pushing a lot of people and companies to serve not just their city, but people in general. So I know CLX Content, I'm sure you work from your laptop. Dylan, I'm sure you work from your laptop. Rob, you have a gym, but let's face it, anybody from people in New Zealand to the Caribbean to Toronto can zoom in on what you do best. And I do appreciate, I can't say for CLX Content, but I follow Rob and I follow Dylan on YouTube. You guys are doing a great job. Every time I look at my YouTube channel, you guys have updates coming and you have your videos streaming, so keep that up. But now that we're going into a digital world, people are going to expect each and every one of us to show up online, which is why you see me doing my Instagram Live every single day. So if there's any way that you can provide like tutorial classes or maybe if you have enough opportunity to do that, Rob or Dylan, go YouTube Live or Instagram Live and just set up your cameras online so people can kind of see a sneak peek of what you're doing behind the scenes. Or they can actually jump on your lives and join you and do little tutorials. I'll give you guys some examples. So I'll start off with Rob. As you know, I do see you doing your videos in your gym. So maybe you just do, if you're interested, you just do a little update on a Friday, letting everybody know that you're going virtually on Instagram Live. And you actually tell people to show up in their gym clothes and get ready, get their drinking water to the side because you're going to do a little 15-minute live every Friday, just kind of showing people this is a little sample of what I do, and these exercise components will help you with XYZ so that you can convert those people. Maybe for a month you do that for free, but then you convert them to an hour session where it's a little bit more thorough, where you're telling people that if you stretch like this, it helps you with your globes, or I'm not even a doctor, so I don't even know what I'm talking about, but I think you get it. So I'll give Dylan, I'll give you an example. CLX Content, I'll get to you too. So Dylan, you're a photographer. What I'm seeing a lot with some of my followers that are in different parts of the world when it comes to photography is they're doing short Instagram 1 to 3 minute videos on IGTV, and they're giving basic photography tips. And I have a feeling that these people are doing this because they're trying to pivot. And when I say pivot, it's just like a big LinkedIn word that's being thrown out there. Pivot means they're trying to go from just being a photographer to potentially teaching photography classes. So Dylan, if you're up for the challenge, maybe you can let people know, hey, I'm doing an Instagram Live every Friday or once a month. I'm going to be talking about editing videos on cheap apps and things of that nature so that you can get people kind of interested in. It can help build your reputation and your clientele. You can get people to see that you're not just providing a service, but that you're offering free content, offering free advice, you're prepping people up in your city. Use those hashtags on your IGTV when you go live and you download it for Edmonton or Alberta or Calgary, whatever it is, St. Albert, Sherwood Park, Spruce Grove, etc. And you're kind of prepping people that when you go live, you're not giving out too much, you're just giving a little sample of the chocolate, and then as the time goes by, you can then turn your content into paid courses, or you can turn your content into an invitation that people start to see you every Friday with your Instagram Live, if that's what you want to do, and then you're slowly converting people into customers. So CLX Content, you're in content writing services, so you can do little things like just doing Instagram Lives or showing up, talking about general writing tips. And here's the thing, each and every one of you who's on the line right now, the one thing that I can tell you for myself is some people are scratching their head like, why is Makita putting out free content every single day? Like, why is she doing that? I'm doing that because I'm not giving you everything. I'm not telling Sarah, who's a banker, or she's trying to get into, maybe she wants to open her own bank. I'm not telling Sarah A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm telling Sarah a little bit of A, just a little bit of information, because what is going to happen to each and every one of you when you take your content or your business from your gym or your videography services and you put it online and you're giving general content, is people are still not going to be able to do editing services at scale, Dylan. Rob, people are still not going to be able to lose 15 pounds. Let's just say that you take up my idea and people in your city are starting to follow you more. They're not going to be able to lose 20 pounds without your help, because you're a trainer, you own a gym, you know exactly that it's not just showing up on live and doing a couple of exercises every Friday. They have to eat a certain way, they have to drink a certain number of shakes or glasses of water each day. They have to change their mindset, and that's where you don't give out. You don't give out the extra bits, you give out just the general tutorial pieces of information, so that when you're online, you're literally global. I mean, I had last week a man, hi, thanks for joining Afrobiz World. Today's topic is how to take your store or take your at-home business and go online at scale. So I actually had an auto dealer contact me from Miami, Florida. And the reason why he was able to find me is because I started using hashtags Miami, Florida. And he actually bought my writing services for his website. So now you're probably wondering, how can I go about doing that? And that's, you have to have a hashtag strategy. If you have an at-home business or you have a store or a gym and you're just kind of serving people in person, you have to show up the same way that someone would see you if they came into your gym, if they came into your store, etc. You have to show up every day. You have to look at your competitors. Are they not showing up every day? Are they not going live? Are they not giving out free pieces of content that can then go from a piece of content, but somebody's still scratching their head because they can't lose weight, Rob, without your help, or Dylan, they can't sell a house without your real estate videography services, or CLX client. They can't write great content just because you write some posts every day about how to write a business plan. Trust me, everybody on the line, there's nothing wrong with giving out free general content. That is the way of marketing and branding in 2020. The only way that you can be in my position where somebody's contacting you from Miami, Florida, and don't get it twisted, each and every one of you on the line can have customers in a different country. You don't necessarily, now that COVID is pushing everybody to be on the internet, don't just look to your location. I definitely don't. Where in my specific cities, there's a recession every 3 to 4 months. So when COVID hit, as a business owner and a problem solver, I just said, okay, this is a challenge. What am I going to do now? Because I'm not going to sit in my room and start crying about what could happen next. I have to pivot. And again, pivot is just a fancy word that's being thrown out on LinkedIn a lot. Pivot just means, what am I going to do to change the direction of my business sale so that I can go to my next journey and end up on the island or the opportunity platform or pillar of success where I need to be. And how am I pivoting? I'm going live every single day, Monday through Friday, until September 22nd. I am giving out free pieces of content that my competitors will not give, because they think that giving out free content, which is really just a blog. So think of every piece of content, every blog, every tutorial, every Instagram Live, think of that as, again, a little sample. It's like when we go to the grocery store, if you guys are actually still going. And back in the day, let's think about back in the day when you used to go to that corner in the cheese section and that lady was serving the little small pieces of cheese or the little bit of drinks, and you were like, wow, that tastes good. I want more of that. Can I get that? And you go out with a big box or you go out with 1 or 2 bottles. That's exactly what our content is. It's just the little pieces of cheese or the drink at the grocery store, and you're giving bits of sizes of information, but nobody can do what you do. Nobody can edit videos like you, Dylan. Nobody can train people to lose weight, get their confidence back, get their bodies ready and back in shape after the divorce to find their soulmate, etc. And TLX Content U. Nobody can write like you. I don't care. Like, I'm a great writer, but you and I have different writing styles. You might have some other strengths that I don't have, but you are special. Each and every one of you on this Instagram Live are special. And I've been doing this online thing for the longest time. I've helped companies. I've helped career coaches in Australia. I've helped Indian companies that are in tech startups in India. I've helped people in Toronto, Vancouver, a lot of companies in Vancouver, Calgary, you name it. I probably hit that country, except for maybe a big portion of them, but the ones that need my services. And I do that because I give out free information. Other ways to pivot online, if you guys have products. I don't think any of you have products, so I'm not even going to get into product placement and stuff like that. But if anybody's going to start doing merchandise, T-shirts, let me know, and I'll give you a strategy, a quick strategy on how to place your products on the internet without saying buy, and making people feel uncomfortable. So I'll keep going. So you definitely want to go live. You definitely want to do Zooms. Do contests. I did a contest several weeks ago. I'm not sure if any of you saw it. I'm sure if you on the line have seen it. I did a contest where I said, okay, this is a contest where I'm giving out a free consultation call for 20 minutes. And I said, everybody, tell me your most successful business story, your most recent successful business story. And in addition to that, okay, Dylan's asking questions. So Dylan said, what's your thoughts on Fiverr? I have used it for voiceovers and website development. I highly recommend it. I've never been on Fiverr before, Dylan, but I can say that I've been on Guru.com. I've used Upwork. I've used Freelancer and those things, but that was back in the day when I kind of started. I do hear about people that make 6 figures on Upwork and Fiverr, but you're going to have to really, really stand out, and you have to have competitive prices. So if Fiverr videographer is charging $150 for their videography services, if you're going to charge $350, $500, it has to be that top quality. And I had a conversation with you, Dylan. Your services are worth $1,000 per video. That's just my opinion, and up. If I were in your shoes, I'd be charging that. So if you're going to go on Fiverr and tell people my videography services are $1,000, you've got to have a nice portfolio. You have to really show people that whatever it is that they're sampling, whatever video, 5-second video, 1-minute video that you're showing as a sample, that they believe in their mind that this is worth $1,000 versus the person in India or the person in the Philippines who's charging a fraction of that. So I personally, yeah, I have nothing against Fiverr. I know that people bid for low prices, but try Upwork and just try to focus on your social media. Get on Fiverr, see how that goes, but really pump out as much educational content as you can here on Instagram and LinkedIn. And I'm just saying that for you, Dylan, because you're in real estate, so I'm connected with realtors all over the planet on LinkedIn. I have close to 900 followers and connections on LinkedIn, and they're from different places, but I do get a lot of realtors coming. So I think if I were in your shoes, I'd go hard with a lot of content on LinkedIn, and I would definitely amp up my content locally on Instagram. Does anybody else have any questions? If you guys start getting into merchandise, I'm going to start doing an online course for LinkedIn. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to put that on my website as like a checkout kind of thing, or use like a third-party website where they get 20% of each sale, etc. So that's what I'm working on. But if you're going to start getting into T-shirts and swag, again, another fancy word for your logo with pens on it, or mugs with your logo on it, try to see if Etsy's worth it, Amazon is worth it, Shopify is worth it. People are making hundreds of thousands of dollars on Amazon. I watch the YouTube videos. It's unreal what's going on with how much money people are making despite this quote-unquote recession. So Dylan says, I've applied for Upwork many times, but I keep getting denied. I don't know what to say. I can't tell you what the guidelines are on that. I signed up for Upwork 2 or 3 years ago, so I kind of got in on the sweet spot when it wasn't so competitive. Let me know if they're giving you an explanation for that, Dylan, because if there's a will, there's a way. I'm sure they have to give you an explanation. That's kind of odd. My only recommendation or feedback on that is maybe it's so once the COVID hit, yeah, call them Good Idea CLX Content. Once the COVID hit, Dylan and everybody else, these sites where you can kind of put your products and services and stuff like that and get customers, they're competitive now because a big chunk of people here in Canada and in the US lost their jobs. So a lot of people are jumping on these sites trying to make money to feed their children and make some extra cash on the side. So CLX Content says sometimes the ID card isn't scanned right. That's great content. Maybe you guys can link up after or something like that and help each other out. But the way of the world is going online. It's sharing advice in an entertaining way, having fun, showing the behind the scenes on your stories, really doing little things like I had mentioned, little tutorials where you get people to get their computers ready, Dylan, or I was mentioning, Rob, tell people to, you know, ask your kids to join us and we're going to go live every Friday and we're going to do a 10-minute stretch, or in the morning do a 10-minute stretch before everybody goes to work or business. And just try to do creative things like that and you should be able to convert some of your customers to followers. Other things that I would recommend is if you're going to do merchandise, maybe you can have your own shopping cart on your website. I think for some websites there's fees involved with doing that, but on my Wix, I pay for my Wix. Hi, thanks for joining the Open Code. The topic today is how to get your store or your home business online and how to market and brand yourself in a way that creates leads and opportunities for your business. And so that's my strategy on how I'm showing up every day here on Instagram. I take advantage of TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram. I still do Twitter. I just put random thoughts out on Twitter. It's less educational. But I've been maintaining a following of about 2,500 on Twitter for quite some time because I pump out 5 to 6 pieces of content every day. Go on the social media sites where your audience is located. If you're here on Instagram, you have to work a little bit harder. And what I say that is after this, click the discovery section at the bottom, which is the magnifying glass, and put a hashtag and put the specific city or the industry that you're trying to target. Because now on Instagram, because the algorithm is a little bit slow, you kind of have to work for attention. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I want to target, as I was telling you, I had a customer last week from Miami, Florida. He was an auto dealer kind of guy. He needs some website content. So let's say I want to target back into Miami. So I'm going to click the discovery, the magnifying glass. I'm going to touch the hashtag part that looks like a pound, and I'm going to put in Miami dealerships. And now what you're going to have to do to get more followers and get more customers is actually go through those lists of people, like and comment, and you're going to have to take some time to do that every day if you want to grow your account. CLX, where are you located? I believe she's in the US, or he's in the US, but let us know. And your hashtag game should be on point. Definitely make sure that you are using at least 30 hashtags. I put my hashtags in comments. Change up your hashtags. A lot of people don't realize that if they're using the same hashtags over and over again, it doesn't shadow ban you, but it doesn't help you to grow your account and get found. And I know it takes a lot of time and effort to look up 30 new hashtags for every post that you do, but I do it every day religiously. Sometimes I will reuse hashtags, maybe 5 days later, but I'm looking for brand new hashtags. So because I can consult and serve any kind of industry on the planet, I'm going into every new industry in my hashtags. I'm going into engineering, manufacturing, beauty supply, fitness. I can serve as many people as I want once you go global, and that's, or once you have everything efficiently online versus just having your store or your gym. It's like you can serve 2 markets. You can serve the people who are maybe old school or could care, they're not really thinking about this COVID-19 as something that's real, and they still want to meet you at your house or meet you at Starbucks, etc., etc. But don't underestimate the market of an online presence. I'm telling you this right now, and I don't have to share this with you, but I just want you to know that you guys can do it too. And I'm sure some of you on the line have this success already. I get leads every week on Instagram. I get customers every week on Instagram. To me, Instagram is a income generating app. And God forbid it were to disappear, well, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on TikTok. I still do my thing on Twitter. I'm now trying to rev up and do a little bit more and pay more attention to my YouTube. Why am I on all these platforms? Because I know that my audience lives on these platforms. I know that my audience is looking for opportunities on these platforms, and this is why I show up every day. And just some tips and advice for creating content so you don't feel like you're losing your mind. The same post that I put here on Instagram, I take that post, I take the same image, I took the same video, I put it on LinkedIn, but guess what? I tweak it a bit. And here's why I tweak it. On LinkedIn, there are CEOs, people are there for educational content. It's a lot more professional. So I will take the caption, meaning the writing in my post, I will put that on LinkedIn, but I'll make it sound a little bit more educated, so to say. And that's what I do, because back in the day, yes, I make mistakes too. Back in the day, I used to literally create fresh content for every platform, and I would wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, and I'd go to bed, or I'd be done at 5. That's nonsense. I'm not going to do that to myself anymore, and I hope that you don't too. Take your content that you put here on. Hi, thanks for joining, Joel. The topic today is if you have an online store or an at-home business, and you're trying to have more of an online presence, get more customers on LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. So take that content that you have on LinkedIn and put it on Instagram. But when you do that, Instagram is more casual. So if it sounds so sophisticated and it sounds you have a high vocabulary, water it down to about a grade 5 English. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I did the research on this. Content that is grade 5 English actually converts more on places like Instagram than if you're trying to sound like a Harvard graduate. So water it down when you bring your content here on Instagram. Don't kill yourself, guys. Nobody needs to see new content across the board. Just change it up and change it for the audience that is on each platform. CLX Content says, what do you recommend for getting started on LinkedIn and becoming an authority on the platform? Okay, so here's my LinkedIn strategy, and this has helped me. Like every time I put out a post, I get between 10 to 30 comments every day, and that's just the comments, that's not me replying. So after, it could look like 40 or 30 something people reply because I reply to everybody. So my best advice for you on LinkedIn is put a business account, but don't post on your business account unless you have time. And this is why I say this. People don't engage with business accounts on LinkedIn unless your name is Bill Gates or unless your name is Warren Buffett. I'm sorry to say it, but they could care less about my business account or anybody's. But give it a try. Maybe you might have more success, but try to make sure that everything on your LinkedIn looks good. Your bio tells who you are, where you are, what you do, how you do it, and the industries that you're most successful in. Make sure that bio is popping. And I say it to make sure that it looks good, because if people go on your, this is just me, and this is me taking off my marketing and branding cap. If I were to go on a potential, if I want to buy something from somebody and I go on their LinkedIn page and their bio has one sentence, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to roll over and go to their competitor, because that doesn't make any sense to me. So just make sure that you have all those components. At the bottom, add all of your social media pages, including your Calendly site where people can schedule to chat with you. Have that all there. Make sure that if you have writing samples, Dylan, if you have video samples, connect them to each job or company that you've serviced or helped, because people are going to look at that too. So from a schedule posting, a content posting perspective, hey, we are Cambria. The topic today is being super successful online, Instagram, LinkedIn for your business, whether you have an at-home business or a store, etc. Just basically being seen all over the globe is the topic right now. We're getting into LinkedIn strategy. So when it comes to your post, the first thing you want to do on LinkedIn is start off with a sentence that will make somebody look twice. Like, they're not going to look and go down to the next one. Like, you have to make it so eye-catching that a CEO will click read more and read your whole post. And that is very easy to do. You can ask a question like, you can say, please read if your company is failing right now due to COVID-19, or if you are worried about losing your job in COVID-19, watch my video. Like, you really have to use like a cliffhanger sentence or question like that. So make sure you have emojis throughout your content on LinkedIn. People love that. Stick with the same emojis because that's a branding thing. I personally like to use stars on my emojis consistently throughout. And I also like to use orange and blue diamond bullet points. So when people come on my posts, they know that's me. Try not to do these. I know some of you might see this. Let me know in the comments. Do you notice that on some posts on LinkedIn, it's like the paragraphs are 10 sentences long? Try to avoid that, because I don't know about you, but when I get on LinkedIn and I see a post that has bullet points, that's more pleasing on the eye, and I'll read that versus like a person who has 5 chunky paragraphs. I don't have time for that. So try to avoid the chunky paragraphs. Ask people questions. After that first sentence, ask somebody a question. What is the secret to doing editing services, or what is the secret to losing your weight? And then you answer the questions in bullet points. At the very end of your post, ask another question. At the end of your post, ask another question. Do you have any questions, comments, or feedback? How are you showing up online? How are you editing services, or how are you editing your videos the best way that you can? How are you losing weight the best way that you can? How are you creating content that change people's lives forever? And stuff like that will be like, because you have to make your LinkedIn post not about you, but about other people. And when you ask that question, how is your company showing up? People love being heard. People love being seen on LinkedIn. So when you're asking that last question about them, people who will be willing to answer will get in there and say, like, my startup is doing XYZ, or my company here is my CEO, and that's how you get the conversation going. And just keep in mind with LinkedIn, maybe you might have much more success with me when I started rebranding the last week of December, is you might hear crickets. You might put out those high-level posts, and you'll see the views in the bottom right corner, but people may not respond. But it doesn't mean your content's good. It's just people just need to see your content more often, and that's why I post 3 to 4 times every single day on LinkedIn, back to back, every single morning at the same time, because think of everything you do as a commercial. I don't know about you, but when I was a little girl, I would run to my parents, when I lived with my parents, I would run to the basement, and I would love watching the commercials. But guess what? It took 3 or 4 times for me to run upstairs and say, Mom, there's a new Barbie, can you bring me to Toys R Us? Like, that's just what it is like, if you're just posting once a day, if you're posting sporadically, that you have to think in the mindset of a commercial. People need to see your content several times a day, several times a week to get up, buy your stuff, or send you a message and inquire about your services. So I hope that helps. And last thing, I'm going to get to you, Dylan. Last thing, the hashtag game on LinkedIn is real. LinkedIn is amazing because there are more users than people who create original content. And I'm not talking about somebody who sees a nice Forbes video article and they reshare it. I'm talking about people like you and me who create their own content and put it out there. So your hashtags can be job titles, director, vice president, chief marketing executive, physical trainers, moms that cook, moms that eat food, blah, blah, blah. And so make your hashtags location-based, make them industry-based, and make them job title-based. Or you can say companies. I've trended many times for the hashtag company, companies, startup. So try to just play around with your hashtag. Put the company names. Like if you're talking about a review on a Google video, Dylan, actually put hashtag Google. You'd be surprised. Many times I've done that, and once I did a hashtag Microsoft, I believe, and I looked at my analytics, and 6 to 8 people from Microsoft were looking at that one piece of content. How did that happen? The hashtag strategy. So just be consistent with your hashtags. So Dylan is saying, I was thinking of hiring a student to make a marketing plan for us. What do you think? I like the idea of giving the younger generation a chance because I find they do it better than some pros. I would definitely say, yeah, if you want to go with a student, just make sure that they have writing samples, marketing plans. They're about 5 pages right now. So just make sure that they know how to write. They can prove that their content can convert to somebody actually wanting to give you money for a marketing project or will actually collaborate with you. So just make sure that the content that they write in the marketing plan, it will convert whoever you're giving it to a business partner, a marketing kind of like collaboration, or if you're looking for funds, just make sure that because anybody can write, but there's a difference between the writers that write and the writers that write and they create readers into customers. So just remember that. So does anybody have any questions about anything at all? Hi, thanks for joining Sunflower Creations. The topic today is about how to get your at-home business or store into actual online presence. We were talking about LinkedIn, we were talking about Instagram, marketing plans, and things of that nature. So if you have any questions about how to exactly get your business full throttle, let me know. So I'll stick around for a couple more minutes, everybody. Tomorrow's topic is going to be about marketing on a budget. I don't pay, well actually, just recently I did a Facebook ad that went really well, and I spent $450 on a Facebook ad, but they did a good job. The reach was about 16,000 people, or the estimated reach, and 10,000 people clicked on my ad, and when I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, I spent almost $500 on Facebook ads. But again, that's the power of creating videos and content and putting it on an advertising like on LinkedIn and Facebook, and that click per rate. Wow, in my head I'm like, Lord Jesus, I just spent $460 on a Facebook ad, but don't worry about that because that was a branding strategy, because I think about 500 people actually went to my website. Whether they're following me now here on LinkedIn, on Instagram, I'm not sure, but that's okay. I know that I'll get my money back because whatever, I've heard a lot of great success stories when it comes to Facebook and LinkedIn marketing. So I did, just to give you another opportunity to know how my ads are doing, to see if you want to try it out for yourself. I did a Instagram ad last week with the same video, which was actually about LinkedIn, and it didn't do too well. For some reason or another, Instagram pushed my content to Barbados versus like Ontario and stuff like that. So that tells me I don't think I should be advertising stuff about LinkedIn on Instagram, because I don't think people here on Instagram care too much about LinkedIn strategy. So CLX Content says, do you think LinkedIn is better than Instagram? Which can absolutely, absolutely. And I say that because my top paid opportunities came from LinkedIn. I'm not going to tell you the dollar amount, but I'll say it again. My top paid opportunities come from LinkedIn, not Instagram. But your situation might be different, and I say why. This is the science behind it. Instagram 10 years ago, I can put out the same content I put on LinkedIn, and I probably have 5,000 followers right now. Now, you can do that content, put it on LinkedIn, and again, there is an amazing advantage. I wish that each and every one of you take advantage of LinkedIn because, hey TR, today's topic is about online marketing, LinkedIn marketing, also Instagram marketing, Facebook marketing. I was just telling everybody about an ad I just did that went way more over budget than I was expecting, but that's okay. And also if you have like an at-home business or a store and you're trying to create an international, create some kind of international buzz or reputation. So to answer your question, CLX Content about LinkedIn, yes, I strongly believe that everybody on this platform should be on LinkedIn. I put out content on LinkedIn and I get lesser views than here on Instagram, but everybody that needs, like all of the high profile people that you want to get noticed by are on LinkedIn. I follow, and we both are connection. Has anybody watched Shark Tank here? I'm not going to say the name of the person, but in my connections, is one of the investors and one of the early people that were on the Shark Tank. You can't get that kind of access on LinkedIn unless you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. I'll give you another example. I'm sure each and every one of you have watched The Secret documentary. In that documentary, let me know if you remember or don't, Lisa Nichols. Lisa Nichols, she was the black lady in that documentary. She had orange brown hair and she kept talking. I put a comment on her post 4 months ago and she started following me on LinkedIn. Like, what are the chances of somebody from Shark Tank and an author from the documentary The Secret, following people like me and you who are not celebrities or entertainers? I'm not saying that can't happen here on Instagram. I believe that can happen on TikTok, but now that we're talking about LinkedIn, LinkedIn is the place to go. CEOs are on LinkedIn. I have people from every, like, Fortune 500 companies in my connections. Microsoft, Amazon, eBay, LinkedIn, Google, like, those are the people, and they're not here in Canada. I have people that are in my LinkedIn connections that are from the US, and they work in Silicon Valley. Like, I'm not saying that you guys might have more success on Instagram from a reach and brushing shoulders with people that you wouldn't regularly do here on Instagram, but LinkedIn is it is the place to be. Your videos will be seen more. You'll get more of an audience. You can build an online tribe a lot more quicker on LinkedIn. Yes, but the variable, like I tell everybody, your content has to be high quality. It has to catch people's attention. If you're going to use photos, that goes for everybody. If you're going to use videos, Dylan, anybody else, the videos have to catch people's attention within the first 5 seconds, or people will literally skip your video and they'll scroll on up. It's just the way of the world of social media. If you cannot catch people's attention with your one-liner on social media or with your video in 5 seconds, I and everybody else will scroll. So just know what great content is versus average content. And once you get the practice of pumping out great content, you can have those connections where CEOs of top companies and Microsoft and Amazon folks are connected with you. It's just the way of the world on social media. So Dylan says, one of my family members is one of the judges on Shark. Oh, I found out through my Aunt Louise last year. It's pretty cool. Sheer great advice. Love your work. Oh, thanks, T-Heart. Oh, that's great. So let me know if you have any more questions. I don't want to run off or anything like that. It's super, I don't know where you guys are. I know some of you are here in Edmonton, but I'm looking outside and there's a lot of rain, and I was lucky enough to take a 1 hour walk before it all hit. But yeah, that's the way of the world, everybody. Everything I share here, I help companies do it. I apply it every day. I am running my business through what they are calling a recession, the way that I wasn't even running my business on Instagram a year ago when there was no recession. Like, I really want each and every one of you to shine. I want each and every one of you to show up on your potential customers and your potential online tribe Instagram feed every single morning. Like, your content should be so on point that Instagram and LinkedIn and any other app you use love your content so much that they pump it to the front and they show your content to more people because you're deserving of that. Everybody should have that kind of reach. Everybody should be able to build an online tribe every day. But the way that you have to do it is you have to step outside of your comfort zone, going live, sharing free content that's just like bit-sized samplers. Because the bit-sized samplers, I'm telling you, Dylan and everybody on the line, nobody can do what you do, not even your competition. So don't be afraid to put out content that is a frequently asked question piece, is an inspirational piece, is a tutorial piece. I find that a lot of people tell me, I can't write, or I don't know how to do a brand strategy, or I don't know how to do X, Y, Z, and I don't have time. So that's the thing, is like, a lot of people that follow you, they're not going to have the talent to do what you do. They're not going to have the time, even if they have the talent, if they run their own business. So don't underestimate the power of putting out free content that's just general. It's going to be general anyways, because you can't, everybody's business problems are different, right? So when you answer the most frequently asked questions in every video and post that you do, you're going to attract leads every week. Like, I would hope that in the next 5 to 6 months, I get a message from each and every one of you, or at least one of you, saying, Makita, putting out free content was right. I'm getting customers every week. Like, I want that to happen for each and every one of you. But don't listen to the noise about there's no reach on Instagram. Boy, there's reach on Instagram. Like, people are making money on Instagram. Kylie Jenner, she's still making money on Instagram regardless of what people are saying about her. And that's the thing, is like, if Kylie Jenner and all these celebrities who are just regular people who had an idea, who think a little bit differently because they're brushing shoulders with people who do different things, etc., etc., if they can use Instagram as a free platform to make millions, each and every one of us have the opportunity. And if millions is not your thing, hundreds of thousands is your thing. Maybe you want to be a 6-figure, 7-figure, 8, 9, 10. Whatever it is that you want, the internet can give it to you. But again, you have to post more than you regularly do every day. You have to go live and show people and share videos more often. You have to answer frequently asked questions through your posts, and you have to show people that you care. Now, if you can mix all of that into your daily strategy, even on the days where you don't want to show up. Like earlier today, it's not that I didn't want to show up for you. I have been a little bit overwhelmed with a lot of the work I'm doing, plus answering emails, plus producing content, plus taking on projects, plus having a personal life. And sometimes I do feel burnt out, but I'm here because